It's 5 p.m.
All right, quiet on the set.
Shh! Listen!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start the party.
Broadcasting around the world. Polkas After Dark. This is your number one internet station. The music you love right here, right now. It's another live broadcast, special edition.
Hey, well, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. It's all good, kids, because you're here with me and I'm here with you. I'm flying solo today, but only until 5:30, and that's when Don Tomko gets a chance to reveal everything that he has done throughout his musical career on the interview of the week. And we want to thank you guys for stopping by here. Gosh, we got a good crowd in here already. It looks like Gayla is here. We're going to say hello to Brian Kopka. He's tuned in. Also, Judy Crayson. Hey, Judy, I think congratulations are in order for you, if I'm not mistaken. We're also going to say hi to Marcia Moscato. Dan Novak, brother Dan. You know, that's why I'm sitting solo, is because Jerry's hanging out with her brother down at Sunset Beach. That's that place right up there. You see it? And I'm going to be heading out there myself right after this broadcast. We're going to also say good afternoon, good evening to Chrissy Lynn. Welcome to Polkas After Dark. Didi Ogrodny is here, and she is going to be lighting up the stage over at the Summer Music Fest with Lenny Gomulka's Chicago Push, as Lenny does a brand new recording, and that is Lenny Live 2. If you don't have 1, you need to get it, but definitely when 2 comes out, be one of the first to grab it. Hey, hello to Vince and Marie Sosnowski. Gosh, we got a whole bunch of people here. And also to Marie. Hello to you, dear. Hey, Mr. Ivan Mayers, good afternoon. Let's see here. He says, hope you're enjoying the weather hanging out. Well, we didn't hang out by the pool, but we're going to be out by the beach in just a little while. Jerry's out there now with Danny. Also, we're going to say hello to Maria A. Blasting. She's tuned in. Musical Mark Swoger from the city of North Tonawanda, New York. Chris Curtis, it looks like Beth Zamorski's here. Everybody's jumping in. There's Jerry. Jerry's in the chat room over at Facebook. We also want to remind you guys we're also live on YouTube as well. Mr. Brian Shankus from Polish Newcastle Radio is here. Also, of course, Brian is as well, Brian Kopka. And we're going to say hello to the Polka Booster President, Ms. Chris Tansky. She is here. Hey, you know what? I mentioned a little bit ago that we are going to be interviewing Mr. Don Tomko, and we've got a couple of tunes featuring him. Let's go way, way back into the archives with the beat. Here's one called Sunshine of My Life, a tune that he wrote for his missus.
It's the only thing I want.
could see. We'll forever be together, dear, my love, just you and me. And I love you so. It's the only thing I wanted you to know. And no matter if the good times and the bad times will pull through, you are the sunshine in my life. The only one I need is you. And I love you so. It's the only thing I wanted you to know. And no matter if the good times and the bad times will pull through, you are the sunshine in my life. The only one I need is you.
What a great tune there, written by a fantastic guy that I have known since the late 70s, early 80s, Mr. Don Tomko. That is The Beat 2.0, and we're going to get another song featuring Donnie right now. Since we're on a roll, how about a tune called Top of the World? Boy, this is fun because I can blast the music in my headset and nobody knows.
Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eyes, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream. Everything I want the world to be is now coming true, especially for me. And the reason is clear, it's because you are here. You're the nearest thing to heaven that I've seen. I'm on the top of the world, looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. Something in the wind has learned my name, and it's telling me that things are not the same. In the leaves on the trees and the touch of the breeze, there's a pleasing sense of happiness for me. There is only one wish on my mind. When this day is through, I hope that I will find that tomorrow will be just the same for you and me. All I need will be mine if you are here. I'm on the top of the world, looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love put me at the top of the world.
I'd be lying if I wouldn't say that is one of my favorite drummers of all times. You know, there's all different class of drummers in polka music, actually all different genres of music, and that truly is one of my favorites. He hits up there within the top three. Hey, we're going to say hello to Mr. Al Pietkowski, also to Donna. Donna and Al are listening together, so welcome to you guys. Oh gosh, let's see here. Who else do we want to say hello to? Sophie Irene has jumped in, so welcome to you, Sophie. We hope everything is going well for your Sunday. Hey guys, gals, we want to let you know that we intend to be here next week, Saturday night as well. Danny's still going to be here. We're hanging out with Dan Novak down at the beach. That's where Jerry's at right now. She's hanging out with brother Dan because she doesn't get to see him as much And actually, neither do I. But he also paid a little visit to Mom down in North Carolina just a couple of weeks ago, just before Jerry and I got a chance to go down and spend Mom's 82nd birthday. That was a lot of fun, too. And we hung out with Karina and Gus. And boy, just had a lot of fun. Hey, we're going to change the tempo a little bit. How about a little obedic for you kids? Hey, Chrissy Lynn says, good evening, Robin, cooking in the rain. Ooh, it's not raining here. It's still sunny, believe it or not. Oh yeah, Thunder Down Under, and I have to agree with you, Miss Olivia Pikoski, one of the best obedics ever. Hey, good evening to, let's see, Jan Dressler, she's here. Welcome to Jan, also to Jen and Jen Pianowski and Ricky. Gosh, we got a whole bunch of folks tuned in here. Also, Alice Fischler from Canada. Jill Arndt, welcome to you, and also Mr. Kevin Pilarski is tuned in. Hey, hi to Danny Roy and Carolyn. To you guys, welcome to Polkas After Dark. Hey, let me ask you a quick question. Have you guys ever been to Nashville, Tennessee? I know some of you have because Ryan and Dee Dee and Danica hosted a fantastic trip last year, and oddly enough, they're going to do it again this year. And here's Ryan Joseph to tell you all about it.
Hi everybody, this is Ryan Joseph from Four Strings Attached Stores. Welcome to Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee. This tour has been 15 years in the making. We're just so excited to have our friends and family in polka music here.
I've got this rhythm starting in my feet, and it starts each time I hear a polka beat. I just like a king. I wanna dance and sing, so everyone can share the fun with me.
And suddenly I find my radio is dialing into every polka show. I'll chase away the blues, put on my polka shoes, and dance to all my favorite polka tunes.
Another polka rocking weekend, a Nashville polka weekend. We can party till the weekend's through. That's the craze, it's the new trend. A Nashville polka weekend, a polka weekend just for me and you.
As a professional musician and educator who moved to Nashville 15 years ago, I've seen so many cookie cutter experiences, so I saw a need for authenticity. The goal of Four Strings Attached Tours is to give you an authentic experience in Nashville that you will have for the rest of your life.
And polka fever takes you by surprise. Move over, rock and roll, polka fever's gonna grow.
We will show you what it's like to be a professional musician working in Nashville. And we will even include surprises and once-in-a-lifetime experiences that you cannot get anywhere else.
And my friend, I say to you, with this statement very true, the weekend's not complete till you go to
Another polka rocking weekend, a Nashville polka weekend. We can party till the weekend's through. That's the craze, it's the new trend, a Nashville polka weekend.
We look forward to seeing you soon and welcoming you to our family here in Nashville.
That's the craze, it's the new trend, a Nashville polka weekend, a polka weekend just for me and you.
Oh man, what a great production there. What a great production they had there. Hey, we want to say hello to some good friends as well, Mr. Jim Kaminsky and also Ricky Pianowski. They just sent a text photo over to me, and unfortunately I can't copy text photos over real quick, so I asked Ricky or one of those guys to send it to me over to the my email address, and they'll be able to send that over in just a couple of seconds, and I'll be able to maybe post it for you guys. Hey, you know, we're talking about a guy that's going to be joining us real soon, a personal friend of mine for many years, very talented gentleman, not only on vocals but also on the tubs, as we call them, the drums, and that's Mr. Don Tomko. But we're going to play a song right now by the Polka Shamrocks. We're going to take you way, way back into Don's career, and I'm actually going to say Donnie. And you know, Donnie, I hope there's no disrespect in calling you Donnie. I know you're an older guy, but I am a lot older than you, and you have to respect your elders.
Thank you.
Hey, the Polka Shamrocks. Boy, does that take you back to many, many decades ago. And we're going to be talking live. We're going to be getting Don on the phone in just about 4 or 5 minutes or so. And then we're going to be bringing him to the airways here. We also want to say hello to Erica Belanda McMaster. Thank you for joining us this evening. Irene Chacho Cesar, hello to you. Michael Costa, Michael and Veronica, welcome. Hey, we also want to say hello to Linda P. Linda Petrozeski out there in Niagara Falls. Hey, Ray Yaroshinsky, Ray J is joining us. Welcome. Beth Zamorsky is here. Gosh, Kathleen Graves. We haven't seen Kathleen Vishneski Graves in a while. Great to see you back, kiddo. Also, Mr. Chris Bukowski from Cheektowaga. He's here. Rick Kordakowski. Gosh, I don't know where the heck you're hanging your hat today. But we want to say hello to you. Also, Mr. Dave Lubovinsky is here. Welcome. And Kayla Marie is watching. So let's see here. He says, hi all, sitting in the airport waiting to fly out from Polka Bration. Hey, well, safe travels to you, sir. And we have... We're going to change it up a little bit. How about that? Let's get a song by Eddie Blazonczyk Sr. and the Versatones. We love this recording. It was recorded live at Seven Springs. Here's one called The Playboy.
Chociaż zaśpiewać ja umiem minutę zawłodzić. Żadną modo piękno pana nie chce za mną chodzić. Koło nasekło jeziora zapka sobie rzece. Coś ich źle pociągnąć mówię, że mnie żadno nie chce.
Hey, good afternoon to Edmund and his lovely missus. Welcome to Polkas After Dark, the Sunday afternoon edition.
Dziewuchę jedną mam w głowie, a drugą w serduszku. Ale cóż, kiedy nie w środku, tylko na koniuszku. Jedni piją tylko piwko, a drudzy zaś wódkę. Jedni lubią młode panny, a ja lubię wdówkę.
Make plans today to join us for the 48th Annual Polka Fireworks Festival at the Seven Springs Mountain Resort, all taking place on Friday, June 30th and Saturday, July the 1st, featuring 7 of the nation's top polka bands: Lenny Gomolka and the Chicago Push, the Polka Family, John Gora and Gorale, the Boys, the Dyna Brass, Ray J and the Carousels, and the Buffalo Concertina All-Stars. Saturday brings the annual Litwin Concertina Jam, so don't miss out on this 48th Annual Polka Fireworks Festival. For more information, visit our website at www.polkafireworks.com, and to make your room reservations, call Seven Springs directly at 855-332-1601, and don't forget to ask for the Polka Fireworks room rate. Once again, that's the 48th Annual Polka Fireworks Festival at the Seven Springs Mountain Resort, Friday, June 30th and Saturday, July 1st. Hope to see you there.
Yeah, so many great things are happening not only in Western New York, but also all over with all the polka events. Congratulations to the Dombrowskis for a fantastic, wonderful time over at the Ocean Beach event that was run this past weekend. And gosh, we want to say hello to some more people here. Mr. Bob Szymanski has joined us, so welcome to you. Brother Tommy Hoke down in Uniontown, Pennsylvania has just joined us. So we want to say a very special howdy do to you. Oh gosh, we've got Veronica Costa over there on YouTube. Hey, Roger's joining us. Hello to you, Roger. And let's see who else is in the chat rooms over here on Facebook. Gosh, let's see here. I'm going to say hi to Tim and also Marcia. Hello to you folks. And again, you're tuned to Polkas After Dark. We do appreciate it. Hey, we've got a couple more songs here right now that we're going to be playing just before we get a hold of Mr. Don. Mr. Don Tomko. Here's one actually off of the question. Here's Michael Costa and the Beat.
Time to walk away. Wake up with an empty smile. Every step becomes a painful mile. Reality just tears apart. Used to be your loving heart. Caught up in a maze, a quest to find those loving days. The question is, what do you hope to find? The question is, did your dreams leave you behind? The question is, can I help you find your way? My question is, are there any words left we can say? The question is, what are you hoping for? The question is, a mystery behind each door. The question is, emptiness inside your heart. The question is, will this pain pull us apart? When your soul's turned inside out, questioning what your life is all about. Life is an empty slate, fragile in the hands of fate, awakened from the darkness and the love your life creates. The question is, what are you looking for? The question is, they're hopeful of what's more. The question is, will we ever find a way? My question is, could it be time to walk away?
Hey, that's Michael Costa and the Beat off of the recording The Question. And guess what the name of the song was? Yep, you got it. And you win a prize. You know what the prize is? The prize is getting to listen to this gentleman for the next half hour or so. We have live on our live line here, Mr. Don Tomko. Donnie, can you hear me? Hello, Donnie? Okay, hang on one second. I may have a little bit of an issue, but let's find out here. And I don't think I dumped out. Hang on one second. I'm going to play something else here in the background until we get him fired up.
Poślę go jak skończę, całym moim sercem.
Yes.
Hey, there we go. You know, the world of technology sometimes throws you some surprises. And of course, that was one big one, but I was able to get this thing situated. I told Donnie, I says, you know what? I had everything all set and ready to go, and I forgot to charge my phone system that automatically is able to digitize the voice and be able to bring you our artists. So, Donnie, without further ado, welcome to Polkas After Dark. I do appreciate it. And let's start out. I know a lot of the answers to this, but we've got to start out anyhow by asking you, how old were you, Donnie, when you heard your first polka song?
I had to be about 9 or 10, Robin. And first of all, I'd like to thank you for having me on the show. And never in 40 years would I have thought I'd be talking to my idol doing an interview. I got to tell you. I got to tell you, buddy.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much. And, you know, the feeling is mutual because, Donnie, you have come a long, long way. And we're going to get into some other stuff other than polkas because I understand you're doing some other music, too, other genres. Yeah. Am I correct?
Yes, correct.
Well,
correct.
Let's...
Actually, even when I was with Mike Costa, we actually took like a road and did a lot of pop music with weddings. Different bars, different things like that, private events, and we followed that road for a little while too.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. Well, great. Okay, so 9, 10, 11 years old is when you first started, when you heard your first polka. How about when you picked up your first set of drumsticks?
That was probably 2 at that time.
Oh, really?
I started when I was really young. Yeah. My father was a musician, owned a music store, and it just all started at a really young age, and he just knew back at that time that I just had it and just, kept kind of pushing me. And, I just continued and continued to thrive on. So I always loved it, loved the music. And then my parents used to go to dances. One of their favorite bands was the New Brass. They used to go to Dover, Polanka often. And that was my inspiration. When I heard the New Brass for the first time and Roger LaQuala, when I heard him play and how solid he was and just that drive, it was just such an inspiration. And the sound of that band was just so dynamic. It was incredible.
Yeah, here.
So it was just outrageous. And then in 1982, I met up with the Stollars family, and they had asked me to join the Shamrocks. So I was in that band for quite a few years. And, once I joined that band, we started following a lot of different bands around. And that's when we were introduced to the sounds. And that's when I heard your playing. And I was just like, wow, this is what I want to be. And that's how I just moved on and just wanted to play like your style. And then just heard all these other drummers like, Zima, JT, Trojak. I loved Roger Malinowski.
Oh, yeah.
Just loved all those styles and just tried to put everything together and add my own little style. And that's basically how everything just started out.
And that is the key. You can grab bits and pieces, as all of us have done, as I've done. And again, I thank you so much for all those kudos. You were awesome to say that, but not necessary. Hey, tell me a little bit about the Stollars family that actually started out with the Shamrocks. Who did you perform with?
So it was actually Mark Stollars, and then it was Maureen and Colleen. It was actually, they were a 3-piece trio, and then I had joined as a drummer because they played with like a drum machine in the back. And then I joined as a drummer, started to develop and form a little quartet. And then as time went on, we started just adding, different musicians, trumpets, bass player, sometimes a concertina. But, towards the end, we had like a really, really good type band with, it was Mark, Maureen, Colleen. We had Paul Petruccia. Everybody knows him.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember him. Player. Yeah, I think I remember him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a phenomenal player. And believe it or not, he was actually a great drummer. I mean, everybody knows that, too, because when he had played with Lenny and whatnot. But, me and him used to just fool around in the basement, playing different things and used to go back and forth with different licks and whatnot. But, he wound up becoming a solid, phenomenal drummer and a great trumpet player. Great vocalist. And then Greg Palmer, who used to play with Pillar, Tommy Evans on bass, and we had a nice little thing going.
Wow.
For like 1985, 86, and we had a nice recording. Grab a Piece of the Rocks.
Yeah.
So that's how basically how that band started. All formed
Gotcha.
out.
And Grab a Piece of the Rocks. As a matter of fact, I have that song all queued up as we're going to be playing a whole bunch of stuff here. Hey, folks, if you're just joining us on Polkas After Dark, we are talking live with Donnie Tomko. He prefers to be called Don because he is, of course, of age now. He's no longer little Donnie, but he's always going to be Donnie to me. So, so put that in your pipe and smoke it, pal.
I love it.
Hey,
absolutely.
Now, where did you go from the Shamrocks? We'd like to find out.
Yeah, so from the Shamrocks, Mike Costa had actually reached out to me and asked me to join the Magitones because I believe Pete was leaving, moving on. Pete Chacho, another great drummer.
Yep.
And I wound up joining the Magitones probably around 1987, and 86, 87, and we just started to pursue, the band, moving on a little bit, and once Mark Pishko was in the band as well. He was actually the leader of the Magitones at one time.
He played accordion,
he had
right?
Moved on. What's that?
He played accordion, right?
Yes, he did.
Mark,
absolutely.
yeah,
He played
remember
accordion.
him.
And he actually started the Magitones, but and then he eventually had moved on as well. So Mike took over the band, and then we just had a bunch of different musicians because most of the regular Magitones had moved on. So Eddie stayed. Eddie Berstecki, great bass player.
Oh yeah.
He stayed, and we actually changed the band's name to Limelight. And, we did that for quite a few years. And then from Limelight, the polka scene in New Jersey was kind of like, not, I guess, dying out, you would say. And we found a lot more of our work doing weddings and whatnot. And we switched over to pop and American music. And we pursued that for quite some time. So, that's the band. Limelight went on into like a pop American band, and before it had faded out.
Gotcha. Okay. And then let's see here. You played with a guy who everybody knows, Mr. Al Pietkowski.
Oh, yeah.
I had the honor and privilege of working with him with the Dynatones, but tell us a little bit about what it's like to have played with your brother-in-law.
It was absolutely incredible. I mean, the power of Al with his accordion concertinas, but his push on his accordion was just it's something you know how it is, Robin.
Oh yeah,
jumping on a train and just riding along.
You got
just
that
absolutely
right.
incredible. And he he became my brother-in-law, and he actually lived in New Jersey for a while. So there was a time where we were all. It was me, him, Joe Juba, a great friend of mine. God rest his soul.
Hey, I got to interrupt. I got to interrupt you, and I don't usually do this, but Kevin and Liz are both in the chat room here on Facebook. So, and I'm going to ask you some stuff about Joe, but go ahead right now. I'm glad that you brought that up. But go ahead.
Absolutely, Kevin and Liz. Hi, love you guys. So we actually we started to play with Freddie K. So longtime Jersey band. A couple of his guys had moved on. So Al was in Jersey. Me and him had joined Freddie for a while. Joe was in the band, and then we wound up, moving on after some time. And then since Al was in New Jersey, got in touch with Mike Costa again, because we kind of had, just faded apart for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Did a couple of different things, and wound up getting together, calling Mike and saying, "Listen, we got Al in the area. This might be our time to, to get the ultimate band together in New Jersey," and the rest was history, And it was me, Mike, Steve, Joe DeZuba, Mike Costa, Steve, Joe, and Al. So it was the five of us at first.
Yeah,
it was a 5-piece band, and let me tell you, for a 5-piece band, it was a powerhouse, and it was just a phenomenal sensation to play in that band.
Now, how many recordings did you do with The Beat?
So we did 3 in the first round of The Beat. So there was a couple different beat bands, but first round of The Beat, we actually did like a demo. It was called Jamming in the Basement. And I think there was maybe like 6 to 10 songs on there, but it was actually hard to come by. It there was a limited amount of them made. So, we started doing that. I think we did it in Al's basement down in Somerville, New Jersey, and it wound up coming out pretty good. And then we said we just got to keep doing this, and and then we did Meet the Beat and When I Saw You. Those were the other two. So it was 3 altogether for the first round of the Beat. But it was like I said, with the musical talents in that band. Mike Costa, just a phenomenal musician all around. Writing with his music that he wrote or whatever. He actually helped me write the one song on When I Saw You, Sunshine in My Life. He helped me with the musical part of that, and I wrote the words to that.
Yeah, I don't know if you got a chance to hear it, but we started the broadcast today with that song.
Yeah.
And then pumped right over to Top of the World, and that has always been a KA, and you know what I'm talking about, a kick.
Oh, yeah.
A kick song as well. But man, Absolutely. You guys put your own flavor to it, your own taste. Yep. Hey, I got to ask you, who recorded the clarinet on that Top of the World?
Eddie Shevitz.
Eddie Shevitz, okay.
I believe it was Eddie Shevitz. He played on a couple of our albums.
Gotcha.
I believe it was Shevitz on Top of the World.
I couldn't place it because it sounded either like Shevitz, Matt Rosinski, or
it could have been Rosinski too. I'm trying to think now, because Matt Rosinski had done some work with us. I'm trying to think. I don't know if Mike Costa might be able. If he's listening, maybe he could just punch in.
He sure is, and
I'm kind of like losing a little bit here. But,
no, that's fine.
The time has passed a little bit, so but Rosinski definitely helped us out, and it's a possibility that he did that. But him and Eddie Shevitz did a lot of stick work with us. So
gotcha. And okay, so tell us a little bit about the variations of the beat. You played with Mr. Juba, and then there was a time that you also played with a gentleman by the name of Dave Walter. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely. I just need to interrupt real quick.
Sure,
now that
please.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm very sorry, and that just slipped my mind. But it's just coming to me now. Jimmy Weber was actually the one who did the stick on it.
Okay.
It's actually Weber.
All right, gotcha. Well, I knew it was one of those three, and it really had that Weber,
my mind,
that Maui Weber flavor to it. So that's why I was curious.
You know what? And I am so sorry that I forgot about that because Maui's absolutely another incredible musician.
Oh yeah,
and it just had slipped my mind because a couple of different musicians had filled in and played on different albums or whatnot.
Sure.
So, but that was Jimmy Weber. So
now let's go ahead and take a walk down memory lane, and that is with Mr. Joe Juba. Tell us what it was like, not only to share the stage with this guy, but he was a professional on stage, but he was such a clown off stage.
Oh my God!
You'd walk up to him and right away he'd start hammering away at jokes or pointing stuff out, and you just had to laugh. So tell us a little bit about Joe, why don't you?
Yeah, so Joe Juba, he was the best guy that you could ever run into or spend time with. Joe, we had the best friendship. We always had the best time together. On stage, there were times like I could not even sing because we'd be laughing so hard at certain times. I mean, we just had the best time ever. And just the little innuendos, jokes, and different things we did. Yeah. Constantly laughed and had fun.
Yeah.
And but our connection on stage, playing together, was like no other. It was just a feeling so intense. And when we did things, we were so tight. We didn't even have to look at each other. I mean, It was just, we both were feeling the same exact thing. And it was just such a tight rhythm section. It was absolutely, I don't know. I just can't even explain it. It was just a mass connection between us.
Yeah.
And it was the saddest thing when I had heard the news. It was just so devastating, and still to this day, just devastated. It's unbelievable.
He also played with Lenny for a while, and you see these guys up on stage, and you actually can picture Joe on the stage with the beat. The beat now, the beat 3.0, as Michael Costa refers to the band as. And they're setting the world on fire too with the young guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
The young guys that are just amazing, totally amazing characters that are playing. And again, just like Joe, these guys have a great personality too. And I think you got to admit that you have to have a personality in order to be able to do the stuff that you do with polka music. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And there's another person that I just have to mention too as well.
Sure.
Bobby Shemansky. Bobby Shemansky, who was a big portion of our musical connection with Limelight. Also the start of the beat. That was kind of the start of it as well, before Al had gotten involved. And then when we knew Al was in the area, that's where we just put it all together and started out that way. So, but Bobby Shemansky, another wonderful guy, and he also was great friends with Joe Juba.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just, bringing that mention, because he had such a connection with Joe, and even like with the three of us playing together, had a solid, a really solid rhythm section. Yeah. But like you said, with Joe, and when you saw him on stage or spent time with him or did whatever, it was just constant fun. Never had a bad time. I used to look forward to getting in the van with him, and just as soon as we got in the van, it was joke time, and we had the best times ever. Continuing through the whole weekend. It was just, it just will never be the same like that. Yeah. For me, it's just.
I totally agree with you. And also, you're speaking of Bobby Shemansky. Bob's here as well in the chat room here at Facebook.
Oh, okay.
And so I know you want to give a big shout out to him as he did you just a little while ago. So now tell us a little bit more about your musical career. Where did you go after the Beat?
Yeah, so after the Beat, I left the Beat because of my work schedule, and I had to work weekends and different things like that. So, I kind of told them towards the end that I was going to be able to do it. And that was at the end of 2000, I believe. Where we had, kind of broke it off. And I guess the rest of the band just decided to, just to move on or whatever. So it was quite a few years before I did anything. And then what had happened is when Joe had passed away, the guys got together, like Bobby Shemansky, a couple people, and we started to do like a benefit dance at Bayway. And that was another great place that, was no longer there, but there was a lot of good dances and whatnot there in New Jersey.
Yeah.
But we wanted to do it in honor of Joe, and, we did a benefit dance, and from that point on, it just kicked in where, the band basically started back up again. And, and that's where Dave Walter and a couple of those other guys, Bobby Shemansky, there was a lot of people that just started getting involved from the beginning of there. And Eddie Barstecki, he took over for bass. He was our bass player in Magitone's Limelight. Yeah. Great bass player. Another one who I had a fantastic relationship with, and great, in the rhythm section together with him. He was just a powerhouse as well.
Here.
So, but from that point on, we did the Beat again, and in time again with my job, I travel a lot, so I couldn't do more of the jobs were on the West Coast. So that's when for this second round, I just told them I really couldn't do it anymore. And, so that's when they decided to start changing personnel, and a couple other people had left. I think travel became a lot for Eddie too. And that's when Mike got this opportunity now, great opportunity to have the young musicians in the band now.
Yeah.
Alex, Nick, and, and Sebastian, they're another powerhouse. And it's great. It's like three phases of the band, it was like first of us, from the beginning, it was that first band. The second band was a different band, but like a powerhouse. And now they're doing it again. Just like with Mike bringing these different songs, especially the Beatles songs into it. I mean, that was another inspiration of mine that's when I liked the brass, when Costa was in the brass. And when he had You Like Me Too Much, he was like, wow, this is just, I just want to be part of that. And that's when Mike called me, it was just, I really have to thank him from the start, after the Shamrocks, of bringing me in and just, putting me into my musical world, you know?
Hey, I'm hearing a lot of clicking. I don't know if you're tapping something in the background there.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's coming through the mic, and I know Jerry's not here with me today. She's down visiting her brother down
but she'll get mad at you and get mad at me. Sorry, Jerry.
She'll get mad at me and saying, "What were you banging on the microphone for?" While he was talking, and I'm like, "Well, no, I'm going to ask him if he's doing something like that." Hey, also Rick Kordakowski says lots of memories made at Bayway Polish Home.
Ricky's such a good guy. Oh my God,
Bayway
he's
Polish Home is something that he just mentioned, and
absolutely,
that was a fantastic place. I remember playing there with the sounds, with the
absolutely.
Dynatones, and
Oh,
geez,
oh, it was a fantastic place. I mean, that every band played there. You know, on your way through New Jersey or whatever, that was the
yep.
place to go, and then you would move on to either Massachusetts or Pennsylvania or whatever. But it was like a highlight of the field for so many years, so many years. But Rick's a great guy. I met him for my first time Ocean Beach, probably had to be, I don't know, 40 something years ago. But it was always just a great guy to hang out with, and we had so much fun just on the beach. Vic Darzinski, like all those guys, Pete Darzinski,
Oh yeah,
other great musicians out there. Oh God, it's been quite a world with everything, really.
you know I'm glad that you mentioned those guys, Bobby Szymanski,
Yep.
you know, Vic and Pete, because we have a whole plethora of people that we have been reaching out to, and Donnie, including yourself, not one person has says no, I don't want to do it. Jerry and I had
No,
first
it's
started.
great.
Jerry and I had first started this back in 2020. Joe Oberitis was our first guy that we ever
Oh, wow.
talked to in 2020 in October. And, you know, we went through a whole list of all of the band leaders, and everybody was just so kind and gracious to us. And Jerry said at one time, you know, it would be kind of cool to talk to some of the sidemen that have played, because I'm sure they have stories of their own. And a light bulb went off, and that's when we got a hold of Mike Stupinski and Whitey Rignetz, and that kind of started it off with, hey, we're going to start to reach out to these guys, because you're right, these guys did and do have a lot of fantastic stories. Hey, we're kind of getting low on time here. I hope that you can stick around with us a little bit longer. I can't believe it's already 7 minutes to 6 p.m. East Coast time, but tell me a little bit about what kind of music you listen to when you're not listening to polkas.
Most of the time it's like classic rock, country. Those are the two biggest genres that I listen to. I enjoy jazz once in a while, but most of the time it's back and forth between country and classic rock. And the band I'm playing in now is just a local 4-piece band. So it's me, a bass player, 2 guitar players, and great musicians. And it's just a lot of classic rock, like, you know, Leonard Skinner, Allman Brothers, Tom Petty, just, you know, laid back music. And it's nice because it's local, it's close. Yeah. We just do, you know, local venues, bars, private parties, but it's just, you know, just to change. I listen to anything though, Robin. I love it. Polkas, everything, just every kind of music.
Yeah,
I hear. Just never get sick of anything.
And I also have a guy in our chat room too that you played his wedding, and another great musician again, Pete Perucci.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is in the chat room.
Great drummer. There's so many. Oh my God, so many people out there.
Yeah,
absolutely. So many.
It's really
people.
nice. And you know what? As we move forward into the summer and into the fall and the winter, we're going to be reaching out to a lot of folks we already have, and we're just putting the days together, the schedules together. Now, let me ask you this. When you were performing on stage playing polka music, did you have a particular song that you liked to play or sing?
Basically just the ones that, you know, Top of the World was always good. Sunshine of My Life, the one that I wrote. I always enjoyed Costa's originals. I mean, it was just, you know, look forward all the time to playing. I just look forward to playing. I had a great time. And I always had a great time with the guys I was with. You know, always great musicians. Love going to see bands. Like we said, Robin, you know, there's so many out there. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable.
Yeah, I've told Costa many times he is just a sick individual. The creative mind that he has, the creativity that he has, that he can just sit down and put a pen to paper and then say, okay, guys, we're going to try this. What do you think? And I have not heard anything come off of that stage or out of his mouth that has not been perfection. And I'm not just blowing steam or blowing smoke, because Mike and I go way back. He's been on the broadcast a couple of times, actually. And just amazing, amazing talents. Okay, now, how about, do you have a particular band that you have never performed with or played with, but you always wanted to, past or present? And it doesn't necessarily have to be polkas.
trying to think. I mean, a lot of the bands I always wanted to, I pretty much like filled in like with or did a couple songs with them. Like Eddie, Lenny, but again, other phenomenal musicians. Dynatones. Just never got to play with the Sounds. I mean, that was a great band, powerhouse band. That's like I said, like inspirational, like from you. That was from the beginning. That was one of my getting into real power drumming was when I first heard you with the Sounds, and then when you went with the Dynatones, it was just like that's what I want to be, you know. But I don't know, Robin. I really don't know. I don't know if you know the situation. I actually recorded the 1999 album with BBC.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so kind of it was a weird story. They I think Matt had left the band, and they had recording time in the studio or whatever. So Frank reached out to Dave Walter and said, you have anybody in mind? He goes, well, let me reach out. And he reached out to me. He called me on a Wednesday and he's like, hey, would you think you'd be able to help us, cut an album? Like when is it? What songs? Like what's? He's like, well, there's a couple of songs I could, I'll send them to you. We have some in mind. We have some that we're probably just going to throw into the studio. I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday. When are you looking to do this? Like in a couple months? He goes, no, Friday. So it was Wednesday, Thursday night. I jumped in my car, drove out to Buffalo, and recorded that album with them with 2 days' notice. And again, it was another great group of musicians, and just gelled right in with them. But
What was the largest? What was the largest crowd that you ever performed for? Do you remember where it was at?
I honestly have to say, I think it was Holy Toledo when the Beat first played out that way.
Oh wow!
And it was just like from the front of the stage to the back of the stage. The amount of people I couldn't believe it. Never saw in my life. It was. I think you were playing with the Dynatones. We were all on the same stage. It was us, you guys, and I don't know if it was TBC, but it was a rocking night, and just the whole crowd from the beginning was from the front of the stage standing to the back of this huge hall, and there had to be thousands of people. I mean, it was just insane.
Yeah, Holy Toledo Polka Days was definitely one of the mixed jobs that I remember having huge crowds.
Yeah, I mean, with you and Johnny Z, another monster on box, Jimmy on bass, and you guys were rocking the house. I mean, the whole place was just rocking back and forth the whole night.
You talk about Juba. Well, Jimmy Johnson was my Juba. And, we just had a lot of fun. Again, getting into the van and heading down the road. He'd always have something funny to talk about. And he was, I don't know if you know this about Jimmy, but he was also a trained classical pianist.
Was he really?
And when he and Zalasko got together, it was like the creativity there on that side of the stage, too.
I can't even imagine. Oh, my God. Because you could tell. I mean, both of those guys, they just have an ear.
Yes.
I mean, it's just like you look real quick at each other, and you're all doing like the same chord or whatever, and you're adding the fill. I mean, you could tell with that band, you guys had something special. Even like you and Nigel, Jimmy and you had a good connection.
Nigel's another one, with Al and Nige. It was like there was just so much chemistry on the stage and off the stage, because a lot of people don't realize this, but the musicians do talk about the music and the jobs when they're not on stage. They could be sitting at a restaurant at 2-3 o'clock in the morning after playing a gig, and they're talking about, hey, let's see if we can't change this up. Let's do this. And they say it, and then the next job, it happens. It's just totally amazing, the things that come out of the mouths of polka musicians. That is for sure.
Yeah, talking about the job, reminiscing, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's what it's all about. And then it just, that weekend goes by, you work the whole week, and then you look forward to the next weekend. And it used to be so much fun when the field was really grooving. I mean, you could do 80 jobs in Jersey, a year, and you could also be playing in New Jersey back in the day, and somebody like TBC or the Dynatones be in Connecticut, and both places would have 200 people.
Oh, yeah.
It was just, it was crazy. You didn't have, it was just all over the United States. It was, and the East Coast was rocking, the West Coast was rocking. I mean, it was the Midwest, everything was just crazy.
Yeah, here. Hey, who did you idolize growing up? And I don't want to hear me, please. Who did you idolize? No, you can't. But I thank you for that. I really do. That means a lot to me. And, as I'm getting older, I start to reminisce about a lot of stuff, feel very sensitive about things. So thank you. I do appreciate that, Donnie. But who did you idolize growing up? And it may not have been in the polka music industry. It may have been in another genre.
Yeah. So as a kid, when I started really young, like I said, my uncle was a phenomenal drummer. My father had a band, and they played more like 50s and 60s, different stuff like that. But my uncle was a phenomenal drummer who followed Gene Krupa.
Oh,
and
wow.
That's basically my uncle, and Gene Krupa was like who I, as a kid, also followed, but, starting to do rolls and different things like that. But my uncle Roy, he actually, he played on stage with the Glenn Miller Band at one time when he was young as a kid. And they actually wheeled out a drum set for him, and he still has it till this day, in a safe place and kept that. But, yeah, I mean, that was probably my inspiration as well, like into drumming. Yeah.
Man, that's fantastic. Hey, you mentioned, and my ADD kicks in during these interviews, so I go from topic to topic to topic. I never stay on topic for any more than 3 seconds. You mentioned a day job. Are you able to tell us a little bit about what you do? You don't necessarily have to mention the company, but can you share with us and tell us what you do for a living?
Absolutely. So I'm in the dental field. So I work for a company. I've been with a couple of different companies, but now I'm still in the same field, but with a different company, actually called Nevin Labs out of Chicago. And what I do is I'm a project manager. So we build dental labs for dental schools, military bases, VA hospitals, and that's what I do. I'm mostly on the East Coast. I do some West Coast states. But I'm actually, my East Coast stint actually goes out to Illinois, basically. So, I'm like Illinois to the East Coast, Buffalo to the Carolinas. And, all my accounts are, like I said, VA hospitals, dental schools, whatever, and I design their dental labs for them.
Oh, that's fantastic. And also, you remember Paul Romanowski, too, famed drummer from the Michigan Connection, and he's chimed in here in our YouTube chat room, and he says, "Hey, make sure that you say hi to Donnie." What a great guy.
Absolutely, that whole gang from Albany, crazy people, love them. The Harukus, baby.
Harukus, Hellraisers as well.
Oh yeah, that was. I remember when I got my my pin, and I was officially a Harukus Hellraiser. That was like one of the biggest times. With the captain and the whole gang over there. Oh, you know that, Rob.
Oh,
you guys are part of it.
Sure do.
Yeah, no, tell everybody I said hi. Absolutely.
Will do. And let's see here. I did have a couple more questions here. And that is, if you've caught our broadcasts and our interviews, there's two favorite questions that I like to ask at the end. The first one is, do you have a favorite breakdown story that you can share with us? I mean, you've been on the road quite a few years. I know you've taken some breaks along the way, but do you have a favorite breakdown story that you have that you can share with everybody?
As far as, I'm not sure if I'm understanding.
The vehicle breakdown. You guys broke down on the side of the road, not mental breakdown. We can all go into that.
I actually have one that was pretty crazy. I actually filled in with Lenny, and we played Feeder's Grove.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it was me, Kevin Kurgel, Lenny. There's a couple. I believe my sister was on the road. Like there was a whole bunch of us, and Lenny's van broke down. We actually made a fun time out of it, but we were like in the middle of nowhere. We were lucky to find a hotel, and we were actually able to get the van fixed in the morning. But it was like a Sunday night, and we just had to make the best out of it. And but it's kind of scary. You're in the middle of nowhere, and 6 hours from home, 7 hours from home. It's oh boy. But yeah. How about you? Anything big with you?
Yeah, I have, and you know what? I'm saving a lot of stuff because Jerry has been bugging me to be interviewed. I reached out a little bit last year and had some people send me some questions. So we're going to be doing that, I think, maybe sometime towards the end of summer. I have a birthday coming up, a big one, August the 25th. So I think
Oh,
we're
okay.
going to do that probably the 27th, because Friday is my birthday. So we'll probably end up doing that. Jerry has been bugging me about it, and I said, yeah, you know what, we'll do that. Hey, my final question to you is,
Okay.
what would Donnie Tomko say to someone that wants to get started in music? What advice would you give to that person? Now, they could either want to be a musician, they maybe want to be a vocalist, a sideman, a frontman, or lady. What would you give as advice to that person?
Well, I would say, try to perfect yourself as much as you can and connect with somebody and let people know. Don't be afraid. Get out there and follow your dream, whatever you want to do, because it could definitely happen. It's just, sometimes it's just timing. It's the connection of the person that you can talk to. But, and especially nowadays with technology, you can research ways of trying to do things and maybe get started, or even, put yourself on a YouTube channel yourself, or Instagram or something. And, if you want to be heard, get out there and do it.
Well, that's kind of cool that you're mentioning that. Nobody has really said anything about like YouTube, and I peruse YouTube a lot to see the different talents that are out there, that these people are singing, cover tunes. And you find younger folks, you find middle-aged, you find older folks, and they are just, they're amazing at what they do.
Yep.
And they have a lot of followers too.
Yeah. Yep. No, I believe that's the way now. I mean, there's so many ways out there that you can be noticed. And again, just don't give up, follow your dream, and just keep practicing, keep doing what you do.
Yeah, you're here. Hey, well, listen, Donnie, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking time out of your busy schedule. Please apologize to the family.
No worries
that I've
at all.
taken you
Robin,
away.
thanks for having me, man.
Hey.
I really appreciate it. It was great. I even got to, talking to my buddy, my idol from years ago. And we've been on the phone back and forth for a couple of times. So just pleasure speaking with you all the time today. It's great.
And
so it's really good.
And keep in mind, brother, I love you. I mean that
sincerely.
Love you too. And this interview, as well as all of our interviews, are available on Facebook, as well as our YouTube channel. YouTube, they can visit Polkas After Dark on youtube.com. Click on Polkas After Dark, and then click on interviews. Just type in interview, singular, interview, and it'll bring up all the different interviews, including yours, which will be available as of 7:05 this evening Eastern Time.
Excellent. I appreciate it so much. Again, thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you. And I've got a song right now all queued up. Don't Come Crying to Me. Here's TBC off of that 1999 recording.
Don't come crying to me when it's over. Don't you come and knocking at my door. Don't come crying to me, I won't be waiting, like I've done 100 times before. Well, you promised you'd love me forever. Now it's all over town, you changed your mind. You'll call me and say, let's get together. But I'm sorry, I won't take you back this time. Don't come crying to me when it's over. Don't you come and knocking at my door. Don't come crying to me, I won't be waiting, like I've done 100 times before. say let's get together. But I'm sorry, I won't take you back this time. Don't come crying to me when it's over. Don't you come and knocking at my door. Don't come crying to me, I won't be waiting, like I've done 100 times before.
Off of the 1999 recording, that is the Brass Connection, featuring Donnie Tomko on the tubs there for you guys. And we want to thank Donnie so much for taking the time out of his busy schedule on a Sunday yet to boot to be able to hang with us. We do thank him so very much. And everybody is just commenting and complimenting Donnie on the interview. We thank each and every one of you for taking time to join us today. Hey, we got lots more songs here yet to go. How about a little bit of a Magitone polka medley?
Since the day you said you're leaving, my life's been all wrong. I tried to hide my feelings, except but with this song. I spent so many nights so lonely, dreaming of the past, and wishing, oh but wishing that our love just might have last. I see you often at a dance with some other guy. The tears they start to fill my eyes as I begin to cry. I can't hold back the love I have just because you're gone. I need you, oh I need you, but I can only wait so long. Was yours and mine. To say that it's all over would surely hurt me too. Oh darling, can't you see just how much I'm missing you? Tell me why. The days are long and lonely as I sit and cry, and wonder why my one and only said her last goodbye. She showed me in her eyes that the tears would never flow. She told me by her lies that our love would never grow. Tell me why, please tell me why our love could seem so simple than just die. Oh, tell me why, please tell me why can't you be my one and only one more time?
racing cars, fast food chains, and singles bars. You and I rushing everywhere. What happened to the things I missed? Your gentle touch, a good night kiss. Stop for once and tell me that you care. Take time to hold me, take time to scold me, take time to brush each tear away. Take time to hug me, take time to love me, and honey, I will never stray. Take time to hold me, take time to scold me, take time to brush each tear away. Take time to hug me, take time to love me, and honey, I will never stray.
Hey, there you go, folks. That is definitely a crowd pleaser by all means. That is a Magitones medley by The Beat. Hey, folks, if you're just tuned us in, well, shame on you. You missed one whale of an interview with Mr. Donnie Tomko out of New Jersey. Of course, playing with The Beat 2.0, the Shamrocks, recorded with TBC. The 1999 recording, played with Freddie K, and just a whole bunch of stuff. And again, if you missed it, well, no worries, because you can tune it in on YouTube this evening, right after we're done. And you can just go to youtube.com, type in Polkas After Dark, and then click on live, and then type in the word interview. Or you can just type in Polkas After Dark, and then interview, and it'll bring up all the different interviews that we have done on the YouTube side of the house. Hey folks, again, we thank you so much for your participation in all of these weekends that we are here. Olivia Pietkowski, we're going to say hello once again to you. Sharon and Tom Golden, Karen and Tom Bayak, hello to you. Kevin Zuba says, great interview. Well, you know what? We have a lot of fun, Kevin, talking with a lot of the musicians and the sidemen, the leaders, the sidemen, just about everybody that we get a chance to talk with. It's exciting, and we just love every single second of it. Hey, let's change it up a little bit. Here's Jimmy Weber and the Sounds. How about a little bit of Mary Ellen Polka?
Find another man who treats her like she wished I would. You take her heart and break it the same way she broke mine. Though I tried and tried to tell her that a good man's hard to find. Moja miła mnie nie kocha, bo ode mnie odeszła. Mówi, że nigdy nie wróci, bo innego znalazła. Jak on jej serce złamie, jak ona mnie zraniła, będzie chciała do mnie wrócić i mnie będzie prosiła. Her like she wished I would. You'll take her heart and break it the same way she broke mine. Though I tried and tried to tell her that a good man's hard to find. Moja miła mnie nie kocha, bo ode mnie odeszła. Mówi, że nigdy nie wróci, bo innego znalazła. Jak on jej serce złamie, jak ona mnie zraniła, będzie chciała do mnie wrócić i mnie będzie prosiła.
It's time to make plans for the Summer Music Fest in Frankenmuth, Michigan. Hi, folks, it's Mark Jansen. That's right, join us August 8th through the 12th for Summer Music Fest 2023. 5 days with some of the nation's most popular polka bands, including The Boys, Molly B and Squeezebox, Polka Family, Polka Country musicians, John Gutta, Stephanie, Jimmy K's All-Star Band, The New Brass Express, and Lenny Gomulka and Chicago Push, with special guests Didi Ogrodny and Ryan Joseph. Lenny will be recording Lenny Live 2, held in the huge 28,000 square foot Harvey Kern Pavilion with the biggest wooden dance floor around. Music, drinks, food, friends, and fun are all part of Frankenmuth, Michigan's #1 tourist attraction and one of the nation's premier polka events, the Summer Music Fest. For all the information, go to frankenmuthfestivals.com or call us at 1-800-FUNFEST. The Summer Music Fest in Frankenmuth, Michigan, August 8th through the 12th. The Summer Music Fest is brought to you in part by Drury Hotels and Fabiano Brothers.
Yeah, that's another place that you want to make sure you get out there and see this coming August. That is going to be a fantastic event, as everything is out at Summer Music Fest in Frankenmuth, Michigan. Hey, we're going to play, let's see, what do we have up here that we wanted to mention? Let's go ahead and bring up Jimmy K off of his 50th anniversary recording. Hey, hello to John and Marge Subcheck from Florida. Also to Marion and Jan Sikora.
Boże, gwiazdy nie będą świecić i wiatr ten nie będzie dmuchał. Może deszczyk się stanie padać, ale ciebie będę kochał. Na zawsze ci będzie jak niebie i zawsze będę dbał o ciebie. Pamiętaj, co ja ci powiedział. Na zawsze ja będę cię kochał. The sun may stop shining in heaven. The big deep blue sea may run dry. The man in the moon may stop smiling, but I'll always be by your side. My life's one and only endeavor is to love you forever and ever. I swear by the stars up above you, forever and ever I love you.
Yeah, that's one by Jimmy K's All-Star Band, celebrating 50 years. Hey, Polkas After Dark, again, is what you are tuned to. We thank you guys ever so much for popping in here into the chat rooms, as you always do. We love hearing from you, and if there's somebody that you'd like us to interview, by all means, please let us know. Just pop on and say, hey, we'd love to have you interview such and such or such and such. Somebody that has recorded some fantastic recordings over the years, over the decades that they have been playing. Also, of course, their musical talents on stage, performing with bands at different festivals, and so on and so forth. Hey, speaking of bands that performed at so many festivals, these guys are really hitting the circuit, no pun intended, the short circuit. Here is LimeWire out of Wisconsin. They did a fantastic job out there in Ocean Beach. in Connecticut. Here's one called Crazy About You, Obenek.
Powiedz mi moja miła, czy ty kochasz mnie? Ja cię kocham cały rok, rzeki w niedzielę dwie. Za te moje zasługi, com cię kochał czas długi. Będziesz ty moja, ha, ha, będziesz ty moja. Za te moje zasługi, com cię kochał czas długi. Będziesz ty moja, ha, ha, będziesz ty moja. Podszedłem do kościoła, kościele od razy. Spojrzałem się raz na obraz, na ciebie dwa razy. I omawiam, patrzę, że do ciebie mnie nic bierze. Dziewczyno moja, ha, ha, dziewczyno moja. I omawiam, patrzę, że do ciebie mnie nic bierze. Dziewczyno moja, ha, ha, dziewczyno moja.
Hey, off of that short circuit recording, that's the sound of Livewire. Coming to you right here on Polkas After Dark, our Sunday afternoon edition, where we do have interviews on Sundays with some of the fantastic musicians in the polka music world. Hey, you know, we've got a whole bunch of folks that we're going to be interviewing. We just have to set up the times and the, times are easy, but the dates. And let me let you know a little bit about some other folks that we are going to be interviewing in the not too distant future on a Sunday afternoon, coming up all throughout the summer as well as the fall into the winter. Listen to this lineup. And we have spoken to these people and we have confirmed. We just have to, like I said, make sure that we get a date that is mutually convenient. But check this out. Mr. John Jaworski from Chicago, Illinois. Al Pietkowski. Al Pietkowski, you just heard his brother-in-law, Donnie Tomko, talking about some gigs. Well, Al Pietkowski has a lot of stuff to entertain you with from his career dating all the way back, and I want to say probably with the Merrymakers. And we're also going to talk live with Robbie Pietkowski at some point. Mr. Bob Piven from Chicago is going to join us. Jim Miller, we know he's floating around here somewhere in Facebook land. Jim Miller has also said, yes, he would be honored to come on. Again, we just have to get these dates scheduled. Jim Miller from Wisconsin. Jim and I go way back as well. Hey, Johnny Kravich, of course. From the former Freeze Dried band, now playing with the IPA band. You see him on stage with John Gura and Gorale. Also, Mr. John Lawrence. Johnny Lawrence is going to join us, a.k.a. Johnny Wonderlick. That's also going to be a lot of fun. Andrew Kaczmarski is going to be coming on from, gosh, he used to play with Focus, and now he is currently with two bands. He's playing with Eddie Biegaj and Crusade, and also with the Buffalo Concertina All-Stars. Hey, Jimmy Chainsaw Kaczarski from Chicago. He also is going to be joining us in a future episode. Listen to this. Teddy Oksieszek Jr. He's going to be playing once again December the 30th for that big New Year's Eve celebration. And that is going to be taking place in Ohio. We're going to be telling you more about that. Also, Johnny Oksieszek. Johnny O is going to join us. Of course, John Zalasko, once again, we got to bring him up because he's going to be promoting the heck out of that December 30th dance this year. That's going to be December 30th and December 31st, which is the day before New Year's, and then, of course, New Year's of 2023 as we ring in 2024. Also, Mr. Daryl Welton, he's going to be joining us from the New Brass Express. Let's see, Michael Meduja. And we are working, it's not confirmed yet, but we are working to get a hold of Jeannie and Teddy O from the Windy City Brass. We're going to try to bring them on together, and they're going to share a lot of stories with you guys about the Windy City Brass. And also, we want to hear some of the stories about the Omen. And of course, Johnny O, Teddy O, those guys worked very diligently during the course of time to write the song and the words to After Hours at the Omen. And we're going to see if we can't play that in just a little bit. But right now, we have a song. Let's see, who do we have up right now? We have a song, once again, by Michael Costa and the Beat. And here's one called Good Love.
We would never make it, but look at us, baby. We're still holding on. They said it wouldn't work 'cause we didn't know what love was. Now they wanna be like us 'cause our love is strong. And I know we've seen tough times, but I'm still yours and you're still mine. Ooh, good love. It's a little bit sweeter, a little bit deeper than it ever was. Ooh, don't give up. If the Lord's blessed you with good love. Glad we didn't listen. Look what we be missing. All the hugging and kissing, and all the miles we've seen. I know it wasn't easy, baby, just believe me. I would never trade any of those memories. And I know we've seen tough times, but I'm still yours and you're still mine. Ooh, good love. It's a little bit sweeter, a little bit deeper than it ever was. Ooh, don't give up. If the Lord's blessed you with good love, I've got all that I need when you're standing by me. Ooh, good love. It's a little bit sweeter, a little bit deeper than it ever was.
Little bit of good love. That right there is Michael Costa and the Beat. Hey, we've got a song coming up right now. I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch it or not, but the Dynabrass was playing live yesterday, and they brought up Mr. Jeff Malechko to sing a couple of songs. One of them was one of the songs that he wrote. Here's one called Call on Me. Here's Jeff Malechko, an oldie but a goodie, with the Dynabrass.
Outside is closing in and you just feel like giving in, and you think there's no place for you to go. When the storms of life just find their way into your sun another day, and you can't seem to find a new rainbow. When you need someone to be there and help you face the rain, someone who'll stand beside you till the end, a spirit that will guide you and help you find your way, someone to hold your hand and be a friend. Then you can call on me whenever you're alone, when no one seems to care. I'll be there, pick up the phone, the beacon in the night that guides you across the sea. When you need someone to love, then you can call on me. Heart's been sent your way and tears fall from your eyes today, and you think that you're lost and all alone. If your dreams for love begin to fade with all the plans for life you've made, and there's no one for you to call your own. If the burden on your shoulders is more than you can bear, and loneliness stands waiting round the bend, just turn and look behind you, and you'll see standing there someone who'll bring the darkness to an end. When you just call on me, whenever you're alone, when no one seems to care, I'll be there, pick up the phone, the beacon in the night that guides you across the sea. When you need someone to love, then you can call on me.
Hi, this is Linda P. from Niagara Falls. We hope to see you Saturday, September 16, 2023 at Historic Holy Trinity's Jam and Polka Fest, 1419 Fall Street, Niagara Falls, New York, 14303, just a couple blocks from the casino. Bands are Lenny Gomulka and the Chicago Push and Buffalo Concertina All-Stars. It's under 10, so it's rain or shine from 12 to 8:30 p.m. There are special room rates at the DoubleTree on Buffalo Avenue for people purchasing tickets for the Polka Fest. We have Polish food, beverages, basket auctions, split clubs, and a dance floor. Tickets are $18 for adults, $7 for ages 12 and 16, free for 11 and under. To purchase tickets, see Linda P. or to learn more, go to historicht.org. There's plenty of street parking, so go to historicht.org to learn more. Hope to see you there.
Hey, and we thank Linda P., Linda Petrozeski from Niagara Falls, for taking the time to do that little brief ad for us and get it on over to us. Hey, we also want to remind you that there's a lot of things happening here in Western New York, and here's something coming up in July that you don't want to miss. Hey, the Buffalo Polka Boosters want to remind you to save the date for the Buffalo Polka Booster 53rd Annual Summer Picnic. That's coming up July the 23rd, Sunday afternoon from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Fontana's Picnic Grove, located at 2299 Clinton Street in Buffalo. Music by Focus the entire afternoon. You don't want to miss it. Food served from 3 till 6 p.m. Enjoy your favorite beverages, too, at the 53rd Annual Summer Picnic held by the Buffalo Polka Boosters.
Save the date. Save the date.
Save the date.
Save the date. Hey, you definitely want to save the date, and please make sure that you reach out to Chris Tansky at 716-771-1076. I'm sorry. I was going to say 1056. You know, when Jerry's not here, it's not so much fun to be able to do these. So again, it's 716-771-1076 for Chris Tansky for tickets for that. You want to get them before the end of this month, because otherwise they are going to be $30. So if you get them in advance for $25, and of course if you're a member, and if you're not a member, why don't you become one? Hey folks, we are going to actually cut the broadcast kind of short. We've got some running around to do. We're going to head down back, or should I say I'm going to head down back to Sunset Bay to hang out with Danny this evening and grab some dinner. Jerry's already down there, and I'm sure she's got hot dogs on the grill and all kinds of stuff like that. But let's go ahead and bring up Mr. Larry Trojak from the Dynatones. Here's one called Red Shoes Polka. Have a great week, folks. God bless, and we'll see you next week Saturday. Sorry.
Tak sobie tańcują nawet bez muzyki. Czerwone buciki, czerwone guziki. Tak sobie tańcują nawet bez muzyki.
Hey folks, as we always say, thanks for putting us on. If you've been listening in your car, thanks for the ride. You're tuned to Polkas After Dark, and we love you for it. Thanks. Have a great week.